How can something this advanced be such a headache? A sphere rises from the desert, towering 366 feet above the Las Vegas Strip. But this is not just a building. It is an engineering experiment on a scale Las Vegas has never seen. The sphere's outer shell is wrapped in nearly 580,000 square feet of programmable LED panels, creating a digital skin that can light up the sky with anything from swirling galaxies to a giant blinking eyeball. That is more than 10 football fields of high-res animation, visible for miles in every direction. Step inside, and the numbers get even wilder. The interior bowl is lined with a 16,000 by 16,000 wraparound LED screen. Imagine a digital canvas so sharp and so huge, it can swallow 17,600 people in a single, immersive image. This screen curves overhead and behind every seat, making the audience part of the show itself. And then there is the sound. The Sphere's proprietary audio system is powered by a ridiculous number of speaker drivers, reported as approximately 167,000, each individually amplified. That is not a typo. Thousands upon thousands of tiny speakers work together, aiming sound beams with surgical precision so that every seat, no matter how far from the stage, gets its own custom mixed audio. Whisper in one corner, and only those seats hear it. Drop a bass note, and you feel it in your chest thanks to haptic tech built right into the seats. Every system here is maxed out, from the world's largest spherical LED screen to a sound setup that defies normal venue logic. Each of these technical marvels is a cast member in its own right, and every one of them demands constant, high-powered support. That is the raw scale of the Sphere, and it is only the beginning of the story. The original pitch for the Sphere promised a $1.2 billion price tag, already a jaw-dropping sum for a concert venue. But as construction ramped up, the numbers started to climb, and they did not stop. By February 2020, reported costs had jumped to $1.66 billion. The world changed that spring. COVID-19 shut down the site for months, while global supply chains buckled. Prices for steel and specialty electronics shot up. Every delay meant more money spent just keeping the project alive. But it was not just the pandemic. Engineers and designers kept pushing the limits. The exterior needed 580,000 square feet of custom LED panels. No off-the-shelf solution could handle the Sphere's curves. Inside, the team installed a 16K wraparound screen and a ridiculous amount of speaker drivers powering precision audio. Each upgrade meant new rounds of specialty manufacturing, shipping, and installation. Even the equipment needed to build it was extreme. A 180-meter crane had to be shipped from Belgium just to handle the steel skeleton. By the end of 2022, the cost reached $2.17 billion. Then came the final tally. According to SEC filings, the Sphere's total bill landed at $2.3 billion by May 2023. That is more than Allegiant Stadium, home of the NFL's Raiders, despite seating less than a third as many people. The Sphere opened its doors in September 2023, carrying the weight of every dollar spent. Every seat, every pixel, every sound beam now has to help pay down a price tag that started big and finished in a league of its own. A sold-out concert at the Sphere might pull in $10 million or more at the box office. But the real story starts after the crowd goes home and the numbers get sliced up. First, the artist's guarantee, often in the millions for a top act, comes straight off the top. Then there is the promoter's cut, sometimes 10 to 20% of gross revenue. What is left gets hit again by the cost of producing custom visuals, which can run hundreds of thousands of dollars per show just to map content across the Sphere's massive 16K screen. Crew, rigging, and the power bill for 580,000 square feet of LEDs and 167,000 speaker drivers eat into the rest. By the time all the checks clear, the venue's net profit from a headline concert can be razor thin. Analysts estimate that after all these deductions, the Sphere's share from a blockbuster concert can drop to a fraction of the original gross. According to public reporting, the Sphere posted more than $570 million in losses in its first months of operation. That is a staggering figure that underscores just how hard it is to make these numbers work with concerts alone. Now, contrast that with the economics of an immersive film like Postcard from Earth. The upfront cost to produce the film is high, but that expense gets spread across hundreds of showings. There are no artist guarantees, no revenue splits with outside promoters, and the venue controls ticket sales and scheduling. Every extra screening pushes the margin higher, turning a single production into a repeatable cash engine. For the Sphere, owning the content is not just about entertainment. It is the difference between chasing break-even and building a sustainable business. Negative headlines started swirling within weeks of opening night. The Sphere's jaw-dropping interior, with its 16,000-pixel wraparound screen and steep bowl, delivered an experience like nothing else, but not every seat lived up to the hype. Social media lit up with photos of blocked sightlines, upper-level seats tucked beneath the overhang, where the curve of the structure itself cut off huge sections of the screen. One viral post read that the attendee paid $250 and saw half the show. Others showed fans craning their necks or standing just to catch glimpses of the visuals they had come to see. National outlets picked up the story and dubbed it the obstructed seats controversy. The geometry of the Sphere is both its magic and its Achilles heel. The screen's curve means that the upper ring extends far over the back rows, creating blind spots for an estimated 10 to 15% of seats, according to press coverage. The venue responded by adding clearer warnings and updating interactive seat maps, but the damage was already done. Complaints kept surfacing, with some guests demanding partial refunds or vowing not to return. Then came reports of motion sickness. Some visitors described feeling dizzy or disoriented during intense sequences, especially when the visuals simulated rapid movement or dramatic perspective shifts. One attendee posted that they had to close their eyes for half the show. Others reported vertigo or nausea, comparing the experience to a virtual reality ride gone wrong. While not universal, these anecdotes spread quickly, adding another layer of friction to the Sphere's launch. The backlash was not just online noise, it landed squarely on the bottom line. Every guest who left disappointed, every viral complaint chipped away at the Sphere's reputation. In a venue built on spectacle, even a small percentage of unhappy customers became a very public problem. Repeatability changes everything. When Postcard from Earth debuted in October 2023, the Sphere's content studio leaders locked in a new playbook. Take a single high-budget immersive film and run it over and over, sometimes 5 or 6 times a day. Instead of tearing down custom sets or paying out massive artist guarantees, the same production fills seats morning to night. Each screening puts more ticket revenue against the original film cost, spreading that expense across hundreds of shows. With no outside promoter or superstar to split the pot, the venue keeps control of the box office and the schedule. The more often the film runs, the less each showing costs to produce, turning fixed expenses into a predictable revenue stream. This approach keeps the Sphere humming, with seats filled far more frequently than the stop-start rhythm of touring concerts. Early numbers paint a cautiously optimistic picture. The first quarterly update after the Sphere's pivot showed seat fill rates trending up, with more screenings of immersive films and a steadier stream of guests compared to the start-stop rhythm of concerts. On the outside, the venue's massive LED shell has become a magnet for global brands, booking high-profile ad campaigns that light up the Vegas skyline and generate new revenue streams. CEO James Dolan said that they remain confident that this next chapter will drive long-term shareholder value. For now, the Sphere's bet on repeatable owned content and digital advertising is gaining traction. But with operating costs still sky high, the question lingers: can this model truly sustain the world's most expensive entertainment experiment? Right now, the Sphere stands as a $2.3 billion reminder that ambition can outpace certainty. As venues everywhere chase spectacle, the real gamble is always the business model. Building tomorrow's icons before the rules are written? That's the wildest bet in town. What would you risk for a shot at history?